these days, where everyone is on a journey to love and be loved, a long winding road that often leads many to judge and be judged. These days, people spend most of their lives face glued on a screen, trapped inside four walls, where skies and beaches, mountains and countries are hardly ever seen. For we live in a world where people were created with 5 senses, but hardly ever use them, where all are gifted with healthy functional bodies, but often abuse them, where people follow stars and celebrities as if they somehow knew them. Today, I'm not sure if I'm surrounded by robots or humans. For what has become of humanity? These days, whenever someone gets broken down on the side of the street, 99% of humanity just keep driving. Most people have no time to spare, no heart to care, too busy worrying about the struggle of surviving. Most of us get stuck at the bus stop, somewhere between selfish and caring, but we want what everyone else has because we're too busy comparing. These days people spend on themselves but are allergic to sharing. Most of us would rather spend time and money on the cars that we drive and the clothes that we're wearing. We live in a society where the rich get richer and wallets get fatter, where people have come to let go of the things that really matter, chasing dreams that only cause their friendships to split and their families to scatter. When I think deeper, it becomes absurd how love is degenerated from an action to merely a word that fails to see past its function of not only a noun, but actually a verb. Maybe this is the reason why stories of true love these days are rarely heard. For these days, we live in a world where people now commit crime without any remorse, where people chase happiness but forget the source, where 50% of all marriages end in divorce. For these days, society has numbed our consciences to think maybe there's no wrongs or rights. These days people spend their weekends getting wasted under neon lights, gambling all their money away on races, games and fights, taking pictures to Photoshop and filter in the hope for comments and likes. For many of us living today, this is the meaning of life. This world is now the home of people who buy more than what they really need, where the single driving purpose behind life has become greed, as thousands of children die each night without any food to feed. Maybe what's been lost is life's very essence. These days 11% of the world's alcohol is consumed by adolescents. It's ironic how people chase happiness in the form of depressants. And it's this search for happiness that brings joys that never satisfy, highs that quickly end in lows that only seem to deprive. These days depression is on an all-time rise. 1 in 3 youth between the ages of 16 to 25 have at some point contemplated suicide. Each day thousands of victims live, only waiting to die. Hearing all these stories, writing all these lines has got me asking why? Why? And I'll admit that more often than not, I'm part of the problem instead of the solution. Too busy to make a change because it requires my contribution. Today, what will you do? Will you make a change? When will you let self become less and make that substitution? Where I turns into us, where it's not about me, but what we can accomplish together by building trust. So if you're stuck trying to figure out your purpose, the reason why you live, it's not about how much you can make, what you can get, but more about how much you can love and what you can give.